Hello and welcome to my third video reviewing Black Clover. This video will cover the raid on the Midnight Sun hideout up until the start of the elves' reincarnation. Or you could say it's the second half of the Royal Knights arc. Now, starting off this arc, I love the speed and efficiency of the Royal Knights in the raid. And this leads into a very exciting fight being Mario Leona versus Rhea. Now, at this point in the series, these were two characters I desperately wanted to see in action, and this fight does not disappoint. Rhea's versatility of different magic spells was quite a display, and I wish that we had gotten to see more copy magic throughout the series. Then Mario Leona, a beast of a woman, not only reacts to attacks using dark and light magic, but overpowers them, as well as casually blocking attacks from Salamander. Then Mario Leona demonstrates our first Mana Zone, really overpowering Rhea. This transitions to a fight that I've grown to appreciate more on my second read through. And this is the fight between some of the lesser prominent Black Bulls and the Eye of the Midnight Sun. Now, overall, it's a pretty good fight, but the standout moment for me was the Henry reveal. I really like this reveal, and I love Henry's love for the Black Bulls and his backstory with Yami. Now, leaving this, we move to one of my favorite fights in all of Black Clover, along with two scenes that I feel were masterfully done. This is, of course, the battle between Julius and Licht. Right off the bat, I want to bring in attention to the scene setting and the build up before this reveal. William was previously our number one suspect, but that option was quickly shut down after the Underwater Temple arc. Cutting away from the Black Bull fight, we see multiple panels showing us that it's dusk, and multiple panels of this golden light of the sun cast over the Clover Kingdom. We see a golden dusk just before William talks to Julius. Being that William is the captain of the Golden Dawn, I feel this golden dusk is meant to oppose that, creating a sense of unease that represents Licht within William. William leaves the Golden Dawn, while Licht reveals himself during the Golden Dusk. And as this dusk turns into night, it would represent the start of the Clover Kingdom's darkest hour. At that point in the story. Now, the Licht reveal caught me by surprise, and this was on my first read through, as Licht resides in like the only person that Yami outright confirmed is not Licht. On top of that, I love that when it comes to William and Licht, they both get full page spreads of the reveal of their true face. That being when Yami confronts William, as well as when Licht confronts Julius. In the next chapter, Julius brings up two souls in one body, and I find this to be a nice piece of foreshadowing, as we would later learn that Julius also has two souls in his body. And I also feel like this fight does a really good job of demonstrating why Julius is the Wizard King, and the sheer measure of power you must have to hold the title. Julius has the ability to predict the future, casually heal himself. He is constantly blitzing and nearly capturing Licht on multiple occasions, and even effortlessly rebounding light spells while adding speed to them. During this fight, I really appreciate getting to see the mindsets of both Julius and Licht, seeing how Julius views his magic as well as his path to the top and his duty as the Wizard King. Licht views Julius as this unstoppable roadblock, a final challenge he must overcome. The conclusion to this fight was incredible. The Julius flashback was a really great addition to his character before his death, and seeing his influence on the past two generations of Magic Knights. He stops and reverses a kingdom ending attack, putting the lives of everyone before himself, leaving him to be open and stabbed by Licht. And what I like is that this transitions into another scene that is a really big highlight of Asta's character for me. Julius talks about his ideals in the next generation as we cut back to Mario Leona versus Rhea, with Rhea attempting to end himself and Asta stopping him. Asta cares about others' lives, and he tells Rhea not to treat his own like garbage. Asta actually goes on to say he wants an open dialogue. Mario Leona's only answer is to kill them, while Asta questions why. He brings up their motivation and how the two sides really aren't so different. Asta genuinely wants to build a free country where everyone is equal, everyone can laugh together, and this even causes Rhea to compare Asta to Lumiere. The final conversation between Julius and Yami, in my opinion, is a great one, and I appreciate that despite the dire situation, it still displays the relationship these two had with one another throughout the series leading up to this point. Then Julius Novachrono dies as night falls on the Clover Kingdom, and the true battle between the knights and the elves begins. Licht begins the reincarnation of the elves, which is followed by one of my favorite reveals in the series, that Licht is actually Patry. And I think this small flashback adds a fair amount of proper motivation to Patry. And it shows that despite never being the most respected individual in his community, he still carries the weight of his people, stepping up to lead the operation in order to bring them back. The actual reincarnation is phenomenal. The confusion between everyone, coupled with seeing our favorite characters turn sides. It's such a great scene. However, if there is one thing I could change, I would have Yuno remain an elf from this point up until the start of the Shadow Palace, and have him go up against Asta, opening the reincarnation with Asta losing and being at a very low point. Then Asta could save Hage as a way to bring his spirits back up. We could see Asta try to reconcile with Licht's unborn son, who may feel hatred or even just confusion. This could lead to Yuno feeling helpless once purified by Asta, and after the Shadow Palace, he could doubt himself heavily, this plot point being further pressed after he loses to Xenon. While I do like Yuno, I just feel like better things could have been done with his character in this arc. And I'm honestly really just not sold on him until the start of the Spade Saga. With this, we conclude the Royal Knights arc. Honestly, I really like this portion of the story a lot more than I remember, and I had a lot of fun rereading it. And I feel like this arc also features something special, and that's between Asta's speech to Longoris as well as to Rhea. This is where I feel like I really fell in love with Asta. My favorite Asta moments are not actually his fights. While Asta has a lot of spectacular fights, it's Asta's speeches that make me appreciate his character as well as his ideals, and I'll touch on this a lot later. And this does tie into one of my criticisms of the final arc, or maybe you could say it's something I think could have been done better if implemented. That's going to be all for me today. I'll see you all in the next Black Clover video. Bye, guys.